As we continue our time in Ephesians chapter 4, it's actually a busy day here at Brewster Baptist Church because we are the polling place for the town of Brewster, and some of those polling volunteers are right outside our studio here. So if you hear some background noise, that's what you're picking up. We're continuing in Ephesians 4, and our verse for today is verse 14. We must no longer be children, tossed to and fro and blown about by every wind of doctrine, by people's trickery, by their craftiness in deceitful scheming. So, as we shared Sunday and as we've been talking about this week, a major focus in Ephesians chapter 4 is growing up. And this is true that we can't remain children physically, even if we'd love to go back to our childhood sometimes. Others of us wouldn't want to go back to our childhood at all, but hopefully there are at least some nostalgic days that you can think of in a positive way. But spiritually, we are not to remain children. We are to keep growing up. We are to keep learning and growing and maturing. And part of maturing is that we become so well-versed and grounded in our faith that we are not easily blown about this way and that by the latest fad or the latest trend. We don't overreact in fear to things, and we don't let people use fear to manipulate us or to cause us to respond in ways that Jesus wouldn't in any given type of situation. And the other thing that's important to acknowledge is here in Ephesians 4, it's just stating that there are people who try to trick other people, who are deceitful schemers. And as Jesus says back in the Sermon on the Mount, we want to be as wise as serpents and as innocent as doves. But that part of being wise and discerning and having a good, solid understanding of who we are in Christ and the essentials of the Christian faith, which are laid out earlier in Ephesians 4, and that one Lord, one faith, one baptism, one Spirit, right? One God and Father of all. We want to be so grounded in the essentials of our faith and in the truth that we are not easily manipulated. And we know this is true, unfortunately, in people who call themselves pastors, people who lead ministries and churches, that there are many who can be deceitful, who are not of genuine and authentic Christian character, and who will take advantage of people. And this is why there are sex abuse scandals in churches. This is why there are churches and Christian organizations where, unfortunately, people rob and steal and enrich themselves and support a lifestyle that's not appropriate. So, as Christians, we are not to remain children. We are to grow up. We're to recognize there will always be deceitful people, scheming people, crafty people, trying to take advantage of those who are easily manipulated or swayed. Don't let that be you. Be mature. Seek the truth and be grounded in Christ.